Hey, welcome back to Learn BC. You're here with Jared, and I'm going to talk about some administration tricks here within the Business Central administration today. Before we get started, if you could click like on the video if you like it, share, subscribe, and just share some love and help us with our channel. I'm here within 365 administration, and what I want to do, I want to take this production environment and I want to export it. So how do I do it? How can I actually get the production environment exported here out of Business Central Cloud? That's what I'm going to take you through. Let's get started. This has been here for quite some years, and a lot of people actually don't go through the process of following through to try and figure out how to do it. Within the environment, now you cannot back up a sandbox. So if you want to edit stuff in sandbox, you go use a config pack, edit in Excel, etc. You don't have the freedom to turn around and export the SQL database. But within the production environment, you can go into production, go to database, and export the database. Now, a couple of conditions on this. You're limited to how many times you can do this within a 30-day period. A couple of things. You have to have a license. You can't do this unlicensed. You need to make sure that you've got a full license. It's similar to doing environment transfers. You can't do that without a license. There's certain administrative functions you can do in trial. You can't do without a full license. And this is also speaking to the D365 administrator that's unlicensed. So you can be a D365 administrator without a license. You need one to do this. All right. So the other thing that's important to know is that it's the whole environment. So when we turn around, we could have 30 companies trading in here. If I'm backup production, I'm not isolating that to one particular company. I'm taking the whole production environment, and it's coming out of the version that you're actually working at. So at this stage, we're working at 27.2, and that's what we're actually going to download. So it's referred to as a BACPAC file. Okay, we're going to hit database, create database export, and it's asking us here, create a database export. Now, you got some documentation links here. Obviously they're being compliant, and you've got a file name, which is the export that's going to be stored within your storage account. So this SaaS URI, this is just a Azure Storage blob URL. Effectively, that's what it is. And your container name is the name that you give to that storage account. So if we want to follow this through, just hit the link, and it's going to give you all of the T's and C's, some of the things you want to know here. I think I've already talked about. Yeah, so that's cool. So setting up an Azure Storage account. So let's go take a look at this just in Azure. I'm going to go into storage accounts, and I'm going to go and create a new storage account on my existing subscription, and I don't really care about the resource group. I could create one here and just call this is BC services, whatever. Look, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't bother me for this example. One of the things you'll notice here is the BC SQL database export. This must all be lowercase. You can't make it an uppercase. You can't include numbers. It's really, really particular. I'm going to choose my region. So you get the choice of everywhere around the world with Microsoft. I can choose storage type must be Azure Blob. So Data Lake Storage Gen 2. Okay, we're using standard, which is a requirement, general purpose V2 account. You must be general purpose. And whether you're geo redundant or not, that's not going to, change the price of fish. So let's just, that's fine. We'll just go with that. We're going to hit review and create, and it's going to take, I don't know, might take 30 seconds to turn around and create the database once we review here. So we review it all, we hit create, bang, done, and off it goes, and we've just got to wait for it to finish. So this will take, I don't know, maybe 15-20 seconds depending on what Microsoft's doing at the time. You don't have to refresh your screen. This deployment, these dots just here, it just automatically say completed as soon as it's done. Deployment details, accepted. There we go. And here we are. So we are done. That must, you know, you can always watch my clock up the top. That's pretty quick. I'm going to go home and I'm going to go to storage accounts, and I should see my storage account here. I'm going to click on him and I'm going to go down and look down here for find it easier just to search for it. There it is, shared access signature. So into here, we're interested in creating a blob. So we're going to get rid of that. We're using a object and a container, and we're not using service. Read, write, delete, get rid of these. We're using create. Okay. Read, write, delete, create. Yeah, that's correct. Leave everything else, and we need to give ourselves, you've got a minimum of 24-hour window, and this isn't big enough right now, so I'm just going to extend that out by an extra couple of days for the start and expiry date time of this particular container, and that's fine. So even if you made it a week, it doesn't really matter. It's not gonna, it just has to be greater than 24 hours. What's the time? Where from? It must be HTTPS only. All right, so that's all good. And from here, all we're going to do is say generate SAS and connection string, and down below here we are. And what you're going to find is this blob service SAS URL. That's what it is. So I'm just going to copy it. Okay, now remember, I'm going to need my database name, so I'm going to go back in here. I put the URL in there and throw that name in there, and we are really, now see the limit. Each environment is limited to 10 exports per month. This environment has 9 exports remaining. I did one earlier. All right, let's just hit create, and you should get an error screen or a warning or, you know, congrats pop up pretty quickly. If you've done something wrong, she is going to throw an error. So you're going to get an error just here. It's going to say, hey, you need to stop. You got a problem, and that won't consume one of your backups per month. It will only work if it's successful. So this is now running, and it's going to run behind the scenes. This database for this example is pretty small. Like, I've got 3 sandboxes here, and we're at like pretty small, like 0.31 of a gig. So I don't think we're going to have any issues here. This thing is just, it's waiting to be scheduled as part of the 365 services. You've got to wait for it to run through its queue. I'm going to come back to this video once that backup has finished, and I'm going to show you what it looks like within the Storage Explorer. All right, so we're still here. It took a bit being about 30 minutes before I got a response on this backup. And so one of the things that I decided to do is go take a look. So if I'm sitting in storage, there's a couple of things you should do. Number one, go in the storage account, hit the backup account, open the Explorer, and go and download the Azure Storage Explorer. Okay, because that's going to make things super easy. If you hit open, it's just going to pop up with an error. Like, it will look like it opens a web URL and it goes nowhere. All right. So once you've got that installed, it should pop up saying, hey, open the Storage Explorer. So I'm going to hit yes. And here it is. And this is what it looks like. And so I've got now, if I was to look in my storage accounts now, the first time you open this, it's going to ask you to log in. You should log in. All right. It's going to give you a, if you try to look, it's going to say you're not authenticated, and then you'll end up logging in just with your Azure account. But once you're logged in, I've got here some blob containers. I can see my container that I've created, and there we are. There is our SQL file. It's 68 megabytes compressed, right? And just like that, download. I'm going to download that to my downloads and just wait for it. And it's done. I have that on my local computer. So how to export your production database into your computer. I'm going to turn around and create another video of how to actually bring that file into SQL Server, so you can actually open up the database and take a look at it. But for now, the concept that can you download your data? Can you get it to your computer? Can you then have an offline backup? We've had instances where we've downloaded cloud and we've restored on-prem. And so one of the questions this may answer for you is, how do you migrate from cloud to prem? That's it. So it's a bit more complicated than that. You've got you got a whole heap of stuff that we've got to do. We've got to install the extensions to the same and make sure the versions are the same, and there's a bunch of stuff. But the point being here is, can you? Yes is the answer, and you just saw us download the database, which is pretty cool. So that's available in your Storage Explorer, and then you can do what you want with that, which is pretty cool. And I know guys that automate this through PowerShell, and so they may you only get 10 backups a month. They may create that to just run once every, I don't know, once a week, twice a week type of thing. Backs up your database to that blob. Blob is cheap, and then from there they can automate getting that down as a compliance copy, etc. So look forward to seeing you in the next video. Continue to like and share our videos. We appreciate your support. See you in the next video.